Okay. So what I think the method I want to play with, and I want you to help me by experimenting with it as well and seeing how you get on with it over this week, is to start by just, and we're going to do this with our eyes open to begin with. And when you do this later, you can do it with your eyes open or closed, but it's good to know you can do it with your eyes open. I like doing this meditation when I walk, for instance, especially in nature. It's fantastic. So there's some things you can only do with your eyes closed, but the beginning you can do with your eyes open. And what I want you to do now, and I want you to do this as well when we do the meditation together in a little while. But even now, while we're doing this, I'd like you to turn your chair so you're not looking at me and not looking at the screen, but that you're taking in your environment. Turn it to the side or something, and just take in your environment rather than the Zoom conversation and the Zoom screen. That's it. Very good. That's it. Because although I'm going to talk you through this in a kind of more mechanical way, this is a chance for you to see that you've understood what I'm saying so that you can then experiment with it. So the first thing, which is, I'm going to deal with the body, which is a nice tangible, isn't it? It's really like nice and tangible. And I'm going to get you to focus in on the being of your body. And what I mean by that is just to really be conscious that it exists, that there's a visceral experience of being. It really is visceral, literally, isn't it, in the body? So you can feel your body sitting there in your room as it is tonight. And then when you get that sense of the being of the body, to just expand it out a little. So one of the good places to start is maybe with the breath. I like that. You can feel the breath coming in, and you can feel the existence of the air that you're breathing. So you're being in the body. And there's the air you're breathing. And then just expand it out. There's the existence, the vivid existence of the space around you, the chair underneath you, the room, maybe if you've got a window, what's outside the room. And just keep expanding that out, noticing this one quality which everything has. This ocean of being. So that your being is like use the classic metaphor, is like a wave in the ocean of being. The being of your body is a particular expression of this universality of being, which is everything. So one of the little tricks that can really help with that is to be conscious of the space within which everything exists. The being of the space. Because it's very simple, the space, isn't it? The space in which the room exists. The space in which the body exists. The space in which the air exists. The plants exist. Everything which is in your experience right now exists within this space, which itself has being. and expand out your sense of being to be that space. So that there's your individual being, your body. And then you relax that focus, and so it spreads out. It's a bit like diffuse light. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And in your imagination, you can just let it just... So that you are the universe arising as this body in relationship with itself. You're the universe in relationship with itself. So there's a very contracted, particular sense of being to being the body, and then there's a very spacious, empty experience of being, the field of being itself, within which everything is arising. And when you do that, I suggest not seeing it like being as somehow this, as only the thing at the ground, when I talk about it as the ground, but actually realizing that everything is being. It's not the emptiness, it's the fullness. It's the fullness of everything. Everything is being in this process of becoming. And you are intrinsically, as your own body, part of that. There's this oneness of being arising as all beings. And then when you experience that and you play with that relationship, don't do it just with the senses, or do it with all of you, so that there's a feeling quality too. There's a feeling quality to how you relate to the individual and the universal. So can you open your heart to that relationship as well? Because if you open into that oneness deeply enough, it starts to become love. For those of you that have done retreats with me, you'll know how powerful it is, the gazing that we do. What I'm suggesting right now is that you do the same gazing with the universe, with your room, with nature, if you're out in nature. That you're looking, and there's all the appearances in which everything is individual and all these individual qualities. And then you look through, just like when you look into somebody's eyes. You look through, and then there's this oneness looking back at you through everything. Through everything. So that you're in that same relationship as the gazing with everything. Okay, let's leave it there for a moment. So what we're doing there is we're just focusing in on the sensory world, nice and solid, and it's going, look, it's the when I used to, for those of you that have been with me before with meditation, when I would talk about entering your breath, it's the same. It's like what you're doing is you're entering so deeply into your relationship with the sensory world that you see that the subject and the object are essentially one. That's what we're doing.